Hello, my lords and ladies, and welcome to another episode of our Warhammer quest of Darkwater, who are painting. I don't even know this lady's name. Let me look at it real quick. Inara Scion. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This one's actually pretty simple in certain ways. A little bit of a work. We're going to show you how to do it. First off, I want to say thank you to all my YouTube members. You guys are absolutely amazing. Can't thank you guys enough. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button or not. Just watch it. Maybe you like what you see. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But without further ado, let's go. All right, the first thing you are going to do is obviously build your miniature. I'm not a huge fan of these push to fit ones. I feel like they just don't go together as well as they should. Sometimes. A lot of the time. All right, most of the time. Whatever, you get the point. Once you do that, I put some Stirland Mud down on the bottom, and then I did an airbrush of a light gray, but you can use white, you can use bone, just whatever is light. That's all we gotta do. All right, for the skin, so that includes the face, the hands, and the feet. We're gonna be doing some Gulliman Flesh straight out of the pot. All right, for the hair, we're going to be doing some Black Templar. Now, you can thin this down if you would like, but I just used a damp brush and then got some Black Templar and then put it on that hair. Now, you'll notice that the white is sticking through. That's exactly what you want. We're going to highlight it a little bit later, but that's what you want. You want to have that streaks of gray in there to match our art, very simply. For all of our dress, we're going to take some Seraphim Sepia. If you want to save yourself some time, do a 50-50 mix of Seraphim Sepia or a 2-to-1 mix of Seraphim Sepia and Lamia medium and put it on the dress all the way up to the top to the bottom, because we're going to have to paint over this with another color. And the stronger it is, the longer it takes to paint. So take my advice, 2 parts Seraphim Sepia, 1 part Lamia medium, and paint that entirety of it. I did it straight out of the pot, and you can see how strong this is. Listen to what I'm telling you. All right, for the top, I don't know what that is, below the neck area, we're going to take some Ultramarine Blue and just slap that on. Be careful. Don't get it on the dress. But be careful. All right, for our pouch area right there, we're going to take some Black Legion. I did mix this 50-50 with Lamia medium. At that point, you might as well just do Black Templar because it's the lighter version. So if you want to use Black Templar, you can use that too, or just do straight out of the pot, Black Legion. Probably be better just to do Black Legion right out of the pot. Up to you though, but you know, suggestions. That's all I'm doing. Pylar Glacier. Perfect for exactly what we're about to do. All those wisps of water and sword bending and magic and whatever it is. Just slap that on there. That white's going to stick through, and we're just going to highlight just a little bit at the end, and you'll see. All right, come down to our last 2 colors we're going to be using. The first one is Leadbelcher. We're obviously going to use this onto the sword, duh. And then we're going to use this on the vase or jug or whatever it is. Now, we only want to get the spots that are sticking up and the handle on the vase or jug, whatever it is. So be very careful of that. Use a small brush. Or if you feel confident, you can use a size 1 brush and go from there. But it is up to you on that. For the remainder of the items, meaning the hilt and the sword bottom, Retributor Armour, the belt buckle, also with Retributor Armour, and then the rest of the jug to include the little pieces in the middle with Retributor Armour as well. Take your time on this. If you get some onto the silver, just go reapply some silver or some Leadbelcher on top of that. Won't be a problem. All right, we are only going to be doing 2 washes. The first one is going to be on our metallics with Nulin Oil. Duh. And then the second that you will see here in a second is on the gold. It is a 50-50 mix of Fyreslayer Flesh and Lamia Medium. And we're putting that on the gold. I think that looks better than Reikland Flesh Shade. If you wanted to use Reikland Flesh Shade, you absolutely can. It is up to you. Either or will suffice. But I prefer the Fyreslayer Flesh, in my opinion. All right, once you're completely dry, now comes the most annoying part of this. We need to go over some Screaming Skull on the entirety of your dress. This took me about 5 coats. So when you put a layer down, you're going to see some through it. Let it dry completely. Move on to the next spot, and then keep putting it over and over and over again. I kept the recesses colored with the Seraphim Sepia. I did not mess with them. And this is what it should look like after about 5 coats. Maybe less. If you did what I told you in the beginning, it'll take about 2. Now, since we just painted all over the dang thing, we are going to take some Seraphim Sepia, mix with a little bit of water or Lamia Medium, and we're just going to put that on the edges. Again, you can notice from the art on Warhammer.com that she's got some messiness around the edges of her entire dress. So that's all we're going to add. But you don't want it to be too strong. You want it to be just faint. It's there. You can see it, but it's not overpowering. And that's kind of what we're going with here. All right, for the skin, we are not doing anything crazy. We are going over it with our raised areas with some Cadian flesh tone, and then with some Kislev Flesh over those same exact areas. So obviously we're going to get the bridge of the nose, the cheekbones, the chin, the ears, the fingers, the hands, and some on the feet as well. Once you're satisfied with the Cadian Flesh tone, you're going to move over to the Kislev Flesh, and you're going to do the same thing. Again, nothing crazy. It is, it's what we do in all of these videos, but what I'm going to do off camera is the eyes. I need to get my face like right into the face of the miniature I'm painting to do the eyes. It is one thing I cannot do on camera because I can't see. Painting on camera it's a pain. Anybody that does this and posts these types of videos are going to tell you the same thing. Painting on camera is harder than just painting by yourself with no camera, just for fun. So yeah, I'll do the eyes, but it's just white, and then I put some black in the orbitals. Pretty simple. All right, to highlight up our hair just a little bit, we are going to do some Dawnstone, as my voice is cracking for some reason. We're just doing individual strands of hair with some Dawnstones. You don't need to overdo it because it's already pretty light. You probably don't even need to do it. If it's light enough, you can just keep it as is. It looks just fine. All right, to get the blue up just a little bit, the light portions, so the ones that are more in the white areas, not the dark blue, we're just going to put some blue horror on this. Again, you probably don't need this, but it just adds a little bit to it, as is. For the pouch and the belts, I'm just going to do a little bit of edge highlighting of some Adminstratium Grey. So yeah, just go around the edges, be very careful, don't get any on the dress, don't get any on the gold, you'll be just fine. To highlight up the little napkin, I don't know what that is, a bib? We'll call it a bib. The raised areas, Hoeth Blue. And the edges as well, you want to get with some Hoeth Blue as well. Again, be careful, don't get any on the dress. Don't overdo it. If you're not confident, you don't need to get the edges, just get the raised areas in the middle of the bib. All right, for our metallics on each side of the sword, we're going with some Ironbreaker, and then the jug as well. So get the handle and then get as much of the metallics as you can without getting it into the gold because it is very small. And we are doing the same thing with Liberator Gold on our gold areas, just the raised areas. So basically everything on the jug, just get the raised areas onto the belt buckle and then get everything on the hilt of the sword as well. Coming to an end here pretty quick, guys. All right, working on the base, there's a little skull on there. We're going to do a succession of different colors. The skull, obviously, we're going to be doing some skeleton horde on there. Duh. There's a couple other things going on with this, though. For the rock that Inara, I had to look at her name again, is standing on, we're going to put some Nulin Oil on that. And then we are going to put our Aggaros Dunes, you'll see here in a second, on all of our base. Now, these are just suggestions. If you don't want to do it this way, you don't have to. If you want to go outside the comfort zone, but this is what I'm doing. So all of the mud area, we're going to be doing some Aggaros Dunes. And then for that little, there's some vines on the side along with the grass that's sticking out. We are going to do some Militarium Green on those, as you will see here in about 1 second. And that's it. That's all she wrote. That's it. That actually turned out it's not that hard. It's not that hard of a miniature. It looks a little bit more intimidating than it really is, especially with the dress, with the wisps that are coming through, skin, the hair. But I think that method that we just did is, in my opinion, the quickest, fastest, best way to paint Inara and make it look really, really good. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think everything looked great. So yeah, I can't say enough. You could do a little bit more on the base if you wanted, but there's 48 miniatures. I think we're at 8 out of 48 right now. We got a long ways to go, and I want to have it done by March. A long way to go. Anyways, Thank you to all my YouTube members. Thank you for everyone who watches, subscribes, who shares this video, who supports the channel. I can't thank you guys enough. Like I mentioned in the other videos, we're going to be starting a podcast with Hawk RPG, a new board game company coming out. So I will keep you attuned on that. All right, I love you all. See you in the next one.